Hi everyone to this new video. In this video, we will discuss one of the most important topics in NFPA 1 2021 edition, which is the fire department access roads. We will focus not only the code requirements, but we will focus as well on the code intent. So, starting with the required access, every facility, building, or portion of the building should be provided by a fire truck access roads. Actually, the intent of this one is to facilitate the fire department accessibility during the fire event. So, the fire department access roads are required. The fire department access roads shall consist of roadways, fire lanes, or even parking lots. But the main important thing is to maintain a clear access road to the fire vehicle. When the fire department access roads can be installed due to the location or topography or even waterways or non-negotiable grades, the authority having jurisdiction shall be authorized to require additional fire protection measures. One of the most popular examples is the group of zero lot line buildings with no access to the sides or the rear of the buildings. In this case, considering the delays created due to the site conditions, the authority having jurisdiction might require additional fire protection, such as the standby sprinkler system, where is not otherwise required. Some requirements are related to the access to the buildings, which is mainly related to the possession of the fire truck, the location of the fire truck, the location of the access road in relation to the building. One of the most important requirements is the distance between one exterior door in the building in relation to the fire truck access roads, which is 15 meters. Actually, this 15 meters gives additional extension for the firefighters for their hose to enter the building and operate the firefighting. The fire department access road as well should be positioned to maintain a certain travel distance as per code, which is 46 meters or 150 feet in the unsprinklered buildings. This certain distance could be extended to be 137 meters if the building is provided with automatic sprinkler system. The main intent of this certain travel distance requirement is to provide a coverage for any portion of the facility or any portion of the exterior wall of the first story of the building. One of the main questions we encounter during the design, is there any requirement to provide a multiple access roads? Actually, more than one fire department access road should be provided when it is determined by authority having jurisdiction that the access by a single road could be impaired by vehicle congestion, condition of train, climate condition, or other factors that could limit the access. Requiring additional access roads because of possible congestion should be based on traffic impact analysis of the proposed development. This type of analysis should be typically conducted by a transportation or traffic engineer. With regard traffic signal preemption, where the fire department vehicle are equipped with traffic signal preemption devices, the new installed traffic signals should be equipped with a traffic signal preemption as well. These systems reduce the risk of accidents in the intersections during emergency response. Now, what is the specifications of the access roads required? The main point here is to provide a clear pathway for the fire vehicle. That's why a certain road width is required by code, which is 6.1. This 6.1 should be clear of any obstacles to maintain unobstructed width for the fire vehicle during firefighting operation. When the parking is permitted, the unobstructed width is not intended to include the width of the parking. And this is important point because sometimes the designers might consider the parking lot is part of the dedicated fire lane. Where approved by the authority having jurisdiction, the width of this access road should be permitted to be less than 6.1 based on the local regulations and the acceptance by the authority having jurisdiction. The fire department access road shall be increased when minimum width of 6.1 is not adequate to accommodate the fire apparatus. Additionally, a vertical clearance for the fire department access road should be maintained to be not less than 4.1 meters along the path. The fire department access roads shall be designed and maintained to support the expected loads of the fire apparatus and shall be provided with an all-weather driving service. The turning radius as well of the fire department access road should be approved by the authority having jurisdiction to maintain the minimum road width. There is a certain distance as well for the dead end, which is 46 meters in length. If the dead end exceeding the 46 meters, a turning facility should be provided. One of the most popular configuration for this turning facility is the roundabout, the T-turn, or even the Y-turn. Sometimes the bridges might be part of the required fire truck access route. In that case, it is very important to ensure that these bridges could accommodate the required weight of the fire truck and also to maintain the required width, the vertical clearance, and the gradient of this fire truck access route shall not exceed the design limitation of the fire apparatus of the fire department and shall be subject to approval by the authority having jurisdiction. The angle of approach and departure of any means of fire department access road shall not exceed 5% of the design or the design limitations of the fire apparatus of the fire department and shall be subject to approval by the authority having jurisdiction. Finally, there is many questions I encountered during my work as a fire and life safety engineer related to the fire truck access routes. One of them is it mandatory to make the access road as asphalt? In fact, the main intent is to ensure that the access road can accommodate the fire truck weight. Accordingly, it should be from hardscape like interlocked floor, asphalt, or other material that accommodate the fire truck weight. What is the fire truck dimensions? This is one of the common and popular questions, especially by the traffic and transportation engineers. In fact, depends on the authority capabilities and might be different from place to another. That's why the code defined the road access requirements rather than the truck dimensions. Finally, this should be based on the local civil defense or authority having jurisdiction requirements. Is it required for all buildings to provide this fire truck access road? Actually, yes. And not only for the buildings. Every facility, building, or portion of the buildings should be provided by a fire truck access road in accordance with NFPA 1. Now, is it mandatory to mark the fire truck access road. The code doesn't require that all fire apparatus roads be marked as a fire lanes. Marking is required only where the authority having jurisdiction determines it is necessary to prohibit obstructions of the fire apparatus access roads.
Thank you and see you in the next video.